Hey guys, how's it going? Todd, the cheap drums guy, who soon will probably be voted in as the least likely to succeed as a YouTube drummer. You don't find me great? At least somebody finds me. Woohoo. Anyways, back when I got this $30 drum set, which is probably my most prized possession now, I also acquired some cymbals with it. And my friend who does work at receiving at Goodwill also stated one day, or called me one day and said, hey, somebody brought in a bunch of old cymbals. Are you interested? And before he even asked that, I was already in my car and hauling butt across town to get them. So $6, I came home with 5 more cymbals. And when I got there, I didn't expect much. You know, I was hoping for Byzance, and I got something else. But anyways, cymbals are cymbals, especially like a 5-pack of them for $6. So anyways, I brought them home. Looked them over. I could tell there were some were very old, some were quite banged up. But today I got a wild bug up my butt and decided, well, let me get out my barkeeper's friend and clean them up and polish them up, and let's see what we find. And so I did. Trashed the kitchen in the process, which is fine. Covered all the cymbals with the stuff, rubbed it in, scrubbed it in real good, and I was really pleasantly surprised what I found. And let me show you. So among the cymbals, which were a set of hi-hats, well, not actually a complete set, because one of the hi-hats was a 14, and which was a top cymbal, and the other hi-hat, which is a 15, which this one is, and it's a bottom cymbal. But like my Zildjian hi-hats there that I got with this set, one of them was in bad shape. The top cymbal, it had a keyhole on the top and also had a crack in it. So that's the one I cut up to make, one of them, the top one I cut up to make a trash splash. Man, it works really well. It sounded terrible by itself, or just originally how it was, but once I cut the holes in it, it sounded pretty good. And the other top over here, which is up on my kit, that's also a 14-inch hi-hat bottom, and it sounds pretty good as a splash. It does sing a little bit longer, but anyways, here's the 15-inch today that I cleaned up, and I was pleasantly surprised that I found engravings on it. And because I couldn't see them before because there was so much crud. But these are actually, the 2 hi-hat cymbals are made by KRUT in England. These are called KRUT Specials. I'd never heard of KRUT before. I thought they might be a little odd because at first, just because if you notice, even with this bad lighting, there's quite the silvery hue to these. And so I figured there's probably, you know, high tin content. And I guess in the 50s, 60s, tin was quite popular, I guess, for making cymbals then, or with then. I never heard them until I looked up a couple of videos. I wasn't impressed with the sound. But it was really cool to see that these KRUT Specials, made in England, I found some information on it and a website talking about them. And the website was a little off. It kept mentioning Ringo Starr and how, from the Beatles, you know, how he used KRUT cymbals and whatnot. And I really don't believe these were used by Ringo Starr. But I just thought that was interesting. And again, this is the 15-inch hi-hat bottom. And I'm just guessing that what it is. Then again, you know, it could be a 15-inch splat or crash. I don't know how, I can't really find that much information on it. But since I've cleaned it, let's give her a chance. Let's give her see what she sounds like a little bit. And of course I don't have another 15-inch to go with it for checking it to see how it sounds as a hi-hat. But as a 15-inch splash or crash, let's see what she sounds like, eh? Jury's still out on that one. Then here's the 14-inch. This is probably a top because it's a real thin, but this one has got damage to it, and along with the keyhole, it's also got a dent in the top, and there was a pretty good crack in this one. And again, this is also a KRUT special made in England, and since I really don't, and it's also seemed to be bent, so someone clobbered real hard or dropped something on it. But that one's destined to probably get some holes cut in it. Yeah, it's just too thin. But along with those two, there was also this one. Now this is a Canadian-made Camber 18-inch crash ride, and it doesn't. You don't have the Camber logo on it because, unfortunately, when you're cleaning cymbals, if you go over the brand that's printed on the cymbal, it's going to take them off pretty much. And that's what happened here, and so much for the Camber logo. You know, I would love to have retained it. However, I don't want to go through all the work and effort trying to mask off that spot to keep the cleaner off it, and I didn't want one big dull spot where the logo was. So I just took it off. But I found Camber cymbals, both stamped made in West Germany and Canada, and this was the first one I saw with Canada on it. But this is supposed to be an 18-inch crash ride, so let's see what she sounds like as the crash. Not a big fan of brass. But lastly, this big, overly abused beast. This one was almost black when I got it. I mean, it was, the Betina on it was something else. It was Betina and her three sisters, I think, on it. But this one's in kind of rough shape. It's keyholed. It's got a real bad dent right up here also. There's a number of cracks in it. I don't have a lathe to put it on and cut it down to get away from the crack. I might just cut it out of there. But I've got a feeling, due to its thinness, that this might have just been a crash and not a crash ride. But this is a 20-inch cymbal. And again, it wasn't until I got all the crud off it that I found out what it was. This is a Japanese-made cymbal. It's with a brand called Caravan. I really did not find, then again, I didn't dig too deep, but I didn't find much information on Caravan cymbals. So my wife was real curious, and so she called a vintage drum shop down south and asked them about it, and he had never heard of it. He goes, I thought I've heard about every cymbal brand there was, and he goes, I've never heard of Caravan, and he goes, it's made in Japan, so it's probably a here today, gone tomorrow brand. But I'm really afraid to see or hear what this thing sounds like. And so if I blow up the microphone on the camera, or I'll blow up yours at home, I'm sorry. And disclaimer, I'm not responsible. So let's see what she sounds like, and think about, maybe, I'm starting to think about already what to do to this thing before I even hear it. But let's see what she sounds like. This is a 20-inch Caravan, probably a crash. Well, isn't that special? That sounds like a gong, and I'm not a fan of gongs. However, but it also kind of hinted of a China cymbal, and due to its thinness, I got a feeling I could be able to pop that out and turn it inside out into a China. Oh boy, but she's got some damage to it. But I really don't like throwing anything away, especially regarding drums and cymbals, because oftentimes there's lots of things you can do. But again, I'm not a fan of the sound of a gong, and none of the music that I like to play along with, or kind of the music music. I just, like, period, has anything gong related in it. But I might be able to save this as a china. So this week, and I'll start playing with it this week. Well, I got this whole weekend to tinker with it, so maybe I'll do that. I'll turn it inside out, try it out as a china again, or try it out as a china, and then if that doesn't work, I'll cut. Maybe I'll put up a line of 1/2-inch holes, drill some holes into it, and see what she sounds like. Or maybe put some 3/8 ones around the bell, or maybe a combination of the both, just to see what kind of different sounds I can get out of it. That poor old brass cymbal, though, she's seen better days, and it might not even hurt if I even try hammering it out a little bit. Well, you never know. That's what the neat thing about something like this. I mean, it's kind of like a artist sketch pad. I mean, it's a blank page. Although, you know, it does sound terrible as it is, but maybe we can create something that sounds a little bit better. My Zildjian hi-hat cymbal that was cracked and had the keyholes was in real bad shape, and I didn't think anything that could be done to that one to make it sound any good. But since putting the holes in it, it did bring out a really kind of unique sound, and it's, how do we know how to describe it? It's very bright now and tinny sounding, but it's got a nice wash, very industrial. I mean, it is, but it's not harsh. And it was amazing, just the night and day difference just by putting a few holes in it now and again, or here and there, I should say. But anyways, let me get off this, send you guys on your way, and let me start tinkering this, see what I can do. Anyways, I'm Todd, the Cheap Drums Guy. Have a good day, people.